Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. Retaliation is already funded, but I've managed to snag version 2.0 of the prototype that I believe has an updated rule set. In this video, I'm doing a full playthrough using the Neoflesh Cult expansion, an intruder that's cyborg-like, part machine, part living tissue. Now, as this is a prototype, the components and rules are subject to change. Also, this is not a sponsored video, so the like and subscription really helps the channel. So, what are you waiting for? Breakfast in bed, another glorious day in the core. So I've set up for the Neoflesh Cult expansion. I'm not going to go over in great detail of how the whole game is set up. That's been done in quite a few videos already. Aside from the intruder type, we have two new tracks at the top of the board, one for dead cultists. When cultists are placed on that board, they will eliminate a skill from one of the intruder types. And the other one is an extension to the Queen's hit track. These are the Mother Brains tokens, and basically when the Twitchlings intruders come off an unexplored area, these body tokens will move up the track, and when this token meets them, they're flipped over and they're an extension of the Queen's hit points, and that Mother Brain will then go into the development bag. I've only played the base game of Retaliation a few times. This is the first time for the Neoflesh Cult expansion, so if I do get anything wrong, please let me know in the comments, but hopefully I'll pick this up during the video. Now, as I'm playing this solo, I have to play co-op. I've also decided to use two new characters from the expansion, which is the UAV Operator and the Sharpshooter. And again, I'll explain the mechanics of them during play. So for simplicity, I've given each of the characters one of the tactical gear tokens. So they have one oxygen, ammo, grenade, and med pack. But what I haven't done is selected the support items. Now, if you're not aware, at the start of the game, as well as getting your character-specific item card, where the UAV operator has a smart rifle and the sharpshooter obviously has a sniper rifle, you get to select one of these support items. So we have some, we've got a belt, a couple of pieces of armor. That is a bayonet that's used for melee combat. I don't think I want that. That can support the robot. Anywhere on the board. So normally I'd have to spend 2 cards for that and be in a room with a computer. And I've got a couple of heavy guns. I mean, from reading the rules, the Neoflesh, they look really tough. So tactical armor would be very handy, where I reduce the damage taken by 1. But I think I might have to go all out with guns in this one. So I think I'm going to give the I'm going to give the Sharpshooter the support robot, and that's classed as a heavy item. Now for armour, what this does is this sits in your health track, and that will be active as long as your health stays above this level. When the token reaches here, this then gets discarded. So it does have limited use. But as I said, I think I'm going to go in gun heavy and take this drum mag rifle, and that will actually come with 3 ammo clips. So they'll sit on the card, and everything else gets removed from the game. Although there is another deck of these by the item deck. And that too, obviously, is a heavy item. Lastly, I'll just show you this. This was sent by Awaken Realms. It is a metal sun-dropped intruder from the original game. I'm using this as my first player marker. It looks awesome. And the first player will be the UAV operator. Sniper is blue, and this is the UAV that the operator carries around with them. Right, so what's the plan? Well, in the standard version of the game, you're playing semi-co-op. Each character will have 2 objectives where they need to carry out just one. One will be personal, and I think the other one is a mission objective. But there is also one mission task that will be revealed that players can also complete. In the solo or co-op version of the game, you don't have any personal or mission objectives, but you do have one mission task objective for each player in the game, and you need to complete both of these. Now, I didn't have any of the solo co-op mission tasks available, so I had to get hold of Awaken Realms, and they sent me some PDFs through. So what I've done is randomly selected 2 of them. I've just put these here for show. So my 2 objectives are to get the robot to the reactor room, which will be in Sector C, and to ensure that all 3 life support machines are turned on, and there'll be one of those in each sector. This here is the starting hand for each of the character. Blue is for the sharpshooter, yellow for the UAV specialist. Okay, let's go. So the first player will be the UAV specialist. I want to get to the hibernatorium because that is inactive at the minute, and I want to be able to activate that robot. So I'm going to play exploration, which means that I can move my UAV through an unexplored corridor, reveal a new room, but I don't get to carry out the entrance effect. So I'm going to head north. Now, exploration in Nemesis Retaliation is different than the previous games where you moved into a room, revealed a tile that had a little exploration token on top that told you if it was slimed or if doors closed. Here, you actually reveal cards and they'll tell you all of that information. And that includes which room type to place. There'll be 3 different room types for sections A, B and C, but also a randomized set. And this here says that I need to place a room of the A type because I'm in sector A, and then I'll carry out these effects. So we have life support already. That is excellent. That means I can turn on the oxygen. At the end of every player's turn, if life support is not active, then they'll lose an oxygen. And you only start the game with 7. So this has 3 corridors coming from it. 1 north. There's also a noise token in the most north corridor. And I need to place a malfunction room in the newly revealed room. So even though life support has been revealed, I can't activate that yet. This here reminds me to place a secure token if I move cautiously. Now, moving cautiously costs more cards to do. It's a bit like the careful movement in the previous games. But instead of being able to choose where you place noise, you instead place secure tokens that can hopefully negate some of the intruder attacks. The next part says if it's a computer room, I get to place a cultist there. It's not. Now, I would normally make a noise roll as indicated here, but because of the card I played, I don't have to do that. Okay, for my next action, I think I'm going to get you to move in. I'll just move these out of the way. I'm going to use the rest action, get my character to move in, but now I do have to make a noise roll. Okay, 4. There are 2 corridors marked 4. Now that's the end of my turn, and they have to lose an oxygen. That's represented by turning the dial on the right side of the board. Right, over to the sharpshooter or sniper. I've got a couple of options. I could go south. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be separated from the UAV specialist. I could come this way and explore this room, or I can join them and actually remove the malfunction marker this turn. But I don't have repairs. So I think I might move into here. I'll use rest again. I'll have my character move this way. So there's my exploration card. Again, place room from sector A. And it's the surgery room. So here I can discard contaminated cards and also heal some serious wounds. It's on fire. There are 2 corridors. 1 here. 1 here. I didn't move cautiously. It's not a computer room, so again, I don't add a cultist, but I do need to close all the doors that are surrounding the room. There we go, and I do need to make a noise roll. 4. I've got 1 more action. I've got nothing that lets me put out that fire, so I can stay there and take a wound, or I can move up there. Yeah, I'm going to make another move. A bit risky, but I don't want to stay in here. Okay. Or shall I move cautiously? Yeah, I think I'll move cautiously for this one, just in case. So I'll place a token here to represent that. I then need to make a noise roll. Okay, that means I have to resolve a hazard onto the board. So anything to do with the bag is represented on this this tile here. When you draw tokens from the bag, you look at whether you're doing it in a corridor, resolving it in a room, which I am now, or doing the bag development, and they all have different actions. And this will change depending on if the queen is on or off the map. So I've drawn a Twitchling token. I flip it over and it shows me which enemies will now spawn into the life support room. That is one Twitchling and a Fire Spitter. So one there and one there. Now they'll both get to attack who moved? The Sharpshooter. Now there are 6 different intruder types in the game. There's the Mother Queen, which hopefully we won't see. Most likely we will. They're the Twitchlings, the Cultists, and there are 4 different types of adults. So anytime it refers to an adult, it will refer to any of those 4 miniatures. And when they act, if there's a tie, as if these 2 here are going to attack the Sharpshooter, you look at all their skill cards that have been laid out. And these have been laid out in a particular order, and it shows which intruder will break ties first. So it's kind of like an initiative scheme. Now the cards I have don't have a number in the top right corner. They're meant to, so you know which order to place them in. But luckily the rulebook did, so I've gone by that. So from that, the Fire Spitters would attack before the Twitchlings, because it's normally done in size order. Now what the Fire Spitters' special ability is if they're being attacked in a corridor, they actually fight back. So this is the card I've drawn. It's called Boom. This means it relates to a claw mine. There are none of those on the map. I move to the next one. That is the Queen, or the Mother Brain. They're not on the map, so I'll go to otherwise, which is discard and withdraw. Now I don't need to draw a card for the Fire Splitter. What I'm going to do is discard this token, and that means the Fire Splitter doesn't get to attack. But the Twitchling does. Now the Twitchling are essentially the lava of the game, but they don't end up on your board. What they're looking to do is escape through the nearest unexplored corridor, which will move the body tokens up the time track, which essentially, as we'll see, gives the Queen extra health. All they do is give you a contamination card. So that's my 2 actions done. I lose oxygen. And now I move back onto the UAV specialist. I'm going to play Auto Destruct, not for its action, to attack the Fire Spitter. Now what you do when you attack in a room is you choose your target, which is the Fire Spitter, and then you assign it 1 hit. You automatically deal a hit to that target. Then you're going to make a roll with this die, and hopefully you're going to get a value equal to or lower than the number of hits that are on the intruder. If you do that, it's defeated. So that's actually better. What that is, that's a crit, which means it's an automatic kill. So you are gone. You don't get many of those in the game, but they are welcome. Now they're going to attack the Twitchling. I'll probably use Secure. I was hoping to put the tokens into that room to save me from attacks later, but I need the repair for removing that malfunction token. So I assign a wound, but the Twitchlings, they have a special ability where in a room they have the same health stats as an adult. So what I could do with here is another crit. Not a crit, but it is equal or less than the number of hits on there. Again, another kill. Right, I think that's all of my luck. Now, if the Twitchling's special ability wasn't active, assigning a hit to them automatically kills them. You would just need to roll the die to see if you lost any ammo. So that is good. I still lose an oxygen though. Right, over to the Sharpshooter. Yeah, I think the Sharpshooter is going to move. I'm going to do another cautious move. I'm going to spend both of my cards, and I'm going to move to the very top of the board. Okay, so this card is the first type where we draw a random tile from the stack, and these have question marks. And we have got the sprinkler room, so we can put out fires. Awesome. Okay, there is a door going south. Has a malfunction marker in it. I did move caution. Oh, actually, I've got to put a noise token in the south corridor. Obviously, no corridors get placed to the north because that would be off the board. I did move cautiously. So you go in. It's a computer room, so I've put a cultist in there. Now, they're quite annoying because they don't really act in the game. I can move through rooms with them. They don't attack me. They don't pin me down. What they do is, whilst they're alive, they make event cards harder, and they allow all the intruders to have a special skill. In fact, their special skill is that if I deal damage or kill them, they scream really loudly and make a noise roll. So you move in. The effect of the room is that I close all doors. There is only a door here. And make a noise roll. And I remove this card from the game. Actually, that is placed upside down. So when placing corridors, you have to place them with a number 1 to 4 face up. Underneath is a 0. There is an action. We can actually turn these tiles upside down so they can't have any noise tokens placed in the corridors. Right, so noise roll. 2. Not ideal, because it means there are going to be some bad guys in these corridors. So in corridor to the left, it's a blank. And this corridor has 1 fire spitter and 2 claw mines. Right. The blank token goes back in the bag and the other one discarded. Okay, they're not going to do anything else. The sharpshooter has to pass as well. So once the oxygen level is depleted from each of the characters, I can then carry on with the event phase. Okay, what I did here is I moved you and not you. There we go. So the UAV specialist has repairs left, but I had to pass because I need 2 cards to remove that malfunction marker. But I'm going to keep that one for the next round. Right, in the event phase, there's no intruder burning because the Neoflesh are made of metal. They don't burn. They just get really, really hot. So the first thing you do is a twitchling activation. Now, I don't have any on the board, but what they would do is move from any area to the nearest unexplored corridor. Then we go to the event card step. At the top, it tells me that all intruders with a fire spitter in corridors move. There's no fire spitter here. I've got claw mines and ironclad, so they don't move. And then all other intruders within rooms would also move. If 1 or more cultists is alive, well, there's 1 there and there's 4 still off the board. I place a fire in the room with the robot. Now, what I haven't done is when you connect rooms to the hibernatorium area, you remove this tile and this now becomes active. So if I can find the controls in Sector C to activate the hibernatorium, I can activate it to escape the facility. This robot also becomes active, and in the game there are 6 different types of robots. There's a military type medic that can heal you, one that can explore, and another one that can activate computers. So now we've activated that. I turn the card, and we have the military robot, which this type can actually shoot into corridors, which is great. It also carries ammo and some oxygen that can be used. And although I should have activated it when I went into that room at the end of the turn, it doesn't really do anything. I wouldn't have had any cards to activate the robot anyway. So I need to place a fire in the room with the robot. There we go. And each character in a room with the robot loses 2 health. Oh no, I also place a malfunction marker on the robot so they can break. Which means before he gets activated, I have to fix him. Lastly, I place a noise token in every unexplored corridor without a noise token. And there are quite a few. 1 here and 1 there. If the hibernatorium hadn't been explored, I wouldn't have placed noise tokens in this area from this event. You only do that when it becomes activated. Right. It's not too bad. There are worse event cards in there. I've had a quick look at them before the game. Some of them are horrific. Next is bag development. I have a slasher, which means I add 2 more Twitchling tokens to the bag. Then we move the starting player and draw cards. What I did do for the UAV specialist is keep this card in hand for the next round, preparation for that. Right, so the sharpshooter is the first character. What I'm going to do is repair. Although it says no combat, cultists don't count as being in combat with characters. They're just wandering around aimlessly doing their own thing. Completely ignore you. So I'll play those 2 cards and I'll repair here. For my second action, I am going to activate the room and remove all fire from one section. So I could choose here or there. And I'm going to choose this room. And they'll lose an oxygen. No, they won't. Yes, they will, because that's not activated yet. Over to you. You are also going to repair. There you go. For my second action, I will use the life support. So that is now turned on. So whilst in section A, I am not going to lose any oxygen. Back over to the sharpshooter. I think I'm going to pass. I could move, but I've got a nice card there that lets me do headshots into neighbouring rooms. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to pass now. But for the UAV specialist, they are going to search this room. And that's also different in this game. Normally in the previous editions of Nemesis, you would rotate the tile and that would reduce the counter for how many times you can search. This time you draw a number of cards based on the icons that are shown here. And that will always be the case. So I draw 1 green and 1 red. So I have drawn a grenade or caffeine pills, a grenade or some tablets. It's going to be this one. Don't lose oxygen. That's the end of the round. Right, no intruder attacks, no twitchling activations, draw an event card. Okay, long range defense protocol. All intruders in corridors with cultists. At the minute, cultists don't move. So I'm not sure how they're going to get into corridors. Maybe there's another event card that lets them do. And then all intruders in rooms move. There are none. If there are 3 or more cultists alive, if the lander is on the 14th slot of the round track, remove it from the game. Otherwise, move the lander down the track by 5 spots. So currently, this is the lander token. It's on position 10. And when the time track token meets this, the lander will land in the landing zone, which means I can escape. I've now had to push this back to position 14. There are cards that let me move it again. So that's not great. I have to wait until the last turn to get out. And that goes back into the deck. Okay, bag development. What we got? Twitchling. I would activate any twitchlings on the board. There are none. And I place one in the hibernatorium. Not ideal. Okay, change player. Draw cards and advance the time track. Okay, UAV specialist is the first player. I'm going to have them move the UAV into the next room. And for the next action, they can move in there without making a noise roll. Yeah. Okay. So, repairs. I'm going to get the sniper to open this door. Then they're going to chuck a grenade into that corridor. Now, this isn't a burst. Burst is with your weapon. But what I do get to do is roll this d6, add 2, and deal hits to the intruders in the corridor. 4, 6. So all of them are destroyed. And I'll use that card for the grenade. Okay, good. I am going to have to move into there and kill that. So the UAV specialist They are going to do a cautious move. They are going to get attacked, but they'll just gain a contamination card. But for the last action, they're going to attack back. So they'll deal a hit, after making a noise roll, of course. 2. So that means we've got some bad guys appearing in here. It's 2 ironclads and 1 claw mine. Now they can make their shot. Okay. 1, you are dead. They're going to pass. They lose oxygen because they're now in section B. So what I'm going to do here, move with the sniper. They'll come down here. They'll make a noise roll. Let's get rid of you as well. Where's 1? Okay. For the second action, they're going to do headshot. If I've got a sniper rifle with ammo, I can discard 1 card to deal a headshot to 1 intruder in a neighbouring room. You're dead. Now, first of all, I have to do a noise roll in this room. 2 here and here. But I do get to remove an ability from one of the intruders. And I think it's going to be the slashers. We've not seen them yet, I don't think. But they attack twice, all the time. Right, over to the event phase. Again, there are no twitchlings on the board. Got to remember for the sharpshooter to take an oxygen loss. Event card. Okay, all corridors with slashers. No, they've got ironclad and claw mines. So that's fine. In each section with the oxygen activated, place a fire in the support control room. Wow, well, that goes here. And if 3 or more cultists are still alive, well, I've only killed 1. Which reminds me, you go here. I've got to resolve a hazard event. So that's not good here. What that does is I draw a token and put those many monsters into the room. A blank to start with. 2 fire spitters and a claw mine. And each one of those is going to attack the UAV specialist or operator. Who attacks first? The claw mine attacks first, but I get rid of that token to prevent that. Okay, it's not a claw mine that's attacking, so I need to draw and resolve another card. Yep, fire spitter, lose 1 health. So that'll be to the UAV operator. Move that fire spitter into the corridor with the highest number of intruders. You are going to join your buddies. Maximum of 6 can be in there at any one time, unless it's the queen and then it's a queen and 2 others. Okay. And then the other fire spitter, that's an ironclad, that's a queen, gain a contamination. Not too bad. Bag development. Ironclad, add 2 tokens to the bag. Next round. Right, this is round 4 and I'm in a pretty tight spot over there. The robot is broken. I don't have any repairs between both of them and I've got 2 intruders there. So I'm just going to have to attack until I can get rid of them and then run away. But now the contamination cards are coming through the sharpshooter's deck. So I am going to shoot at the fire spitter. So I can automatically give them a hit. Roll. I do have to flip an ammo token, but they do get a hit. That's not too bad actually, because I can play take aim, where I can shoot again, and I can re-roll the die. That's a crit anyway. I do lose an oxygen. Right, the UAV operator is going to pick up and deliver, so I can choose a green or a yellow item card from the deck. Perfect, I've got fire extinguisher, which means that it brings it to me. But it's a heavy weapon. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of one of my guns. I've still got another the drum mag because I think I really need that now. And then for my second action, I'm gonna play that to activate this, which means I can repel you, not you, and I want you to go that way. Again, I lose an oxygen. Right, now we're getting somewhere. Now I would like to play that, which lets me attack people in these corridors, but I can take you out. But here I'd have to go for the ironclad. This only does 1 damage, automatic damage, and I have to assign damage to them first. So I'm going to make a cautious move into this area. It is room B, life support B. There are only 3 B tiles in the game. That was a cautious move. 2 corridors. There's a room with a computer. It's not. Effects. Close all doors around this room and make a noise roll. So here. Done it again. Four. There are no 4s. And a noise token. You still lose an oxygen. Right, over to the UAV specialist. Play repair. I will get rid of the rest action. That is going to fix the robot. And then I've got to move out of there. I'm going to go into section C. Right, tile C. It's the reactor. Right. Entrance effect. Place 2 fire spitters and 1 twitcher in the corridor I just passed through. Then make a noise roll. Three. And I lose oxygen. So both characters have 1 oxygen remaining. You're going to pass, and so are you. So now they have no oxygen remaining. They each get a suffocation token. And that means I've got 1 more turn to get them oxygen. Right, system overload. All intruders in corridors with claw mines move. Oh no. So you're a claw mine. And so are you. Then all intruders in rooms move. Don't know why I picked that up. So it's 1, 2, 3. So only 3 more can go through. And I have to prioritise. There's no slashers. There are 2 claw mines and 2 ironclads. Now they have options to go here or here. They always go to the, I think it's the lowest. So they'll move, actually, yeah. So they're all going to move here, actually. Yeah, because that room number, that's tile 3. That's corridor 3, that's corridor 4. So I think they move to the lowest corridor number. Then if there are 2 or more cultists alive, there are. Place a fire in each computer room. Alright, that's a bit harsh. Oh, there's only 1. Close all doors around rooms with both a character and a fire. There are none. And place a noise token in each unexplored corridor without one. Just here. Bag development. Twitchling. Activate them. There aren't any on the board. Then add one to the hibernatorium. End of the round. Right, I am going to call it a day there for part 1 of the video. So we're just starting round 5. It's not been too bad. I had a feeling I'd be absolutely hammered, but it doesn't look good at the minute. I have to get the life support active, which means the UAV operator is going to have to come into this room. And I hope to see you all as we start round 5 in the next video. Thanks for watching. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.